Righteousness is the common language and understanding needed to unite those who oppose the woke movement, socialist views, and immorality in the culture war. For righteousness is the only understanding that can bridge the differences between all people's beliefs, traditions, and customs based on the principle of right and wrong, known as morals. Unfortunately, the world has lost the understanding of righteousness because religious people have divided themselves into sects in disobedience to God. Since those claiming to worship God have separated themselves against each other, the light of moral intelligence and righteousness have disappeared, for God's light of understanding can't shine through divisions. Now that most people can no longer see right from wrong because they have lost their sense of righteousness, immoral people have stopped hiding in the closets and shadows and are now pridefully claiming the right to be as publicly sinful as they want. But why fight with evil on each issue when these problems only exist because religious people are disobedient to God? As long as the world remains in the darkness of moral ignorance, every attempt to solve problems will only create more significant problems. So the only solution that will successfully end these many social issues is to turn the light of moral intelligence and righteousness on again in the world. Then the darkness of moral ignorance and everything that can only exist in it will perish. For when the light comes on, the darkness has no choice but to go away. However, since different faiths say conflicting things, how do we know when we represent the correct understanding of righteousness? God has given us a system restore point to restore our understanding of religion and righteousness whenever the world becomes divided, evil, and confused again. When we have a virus on our computer or it fails to operate correctly, we all know to go to System Restore and reset our computer to the date before we had the problem. I believe God's system restore point for humanity is when we return to obeying God by following the example that Abraham set to be considered a righteous person by God. Abraham was before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and each consider him to be the father of their faith. So why must someone be a Muslim, Christian, or Jewish to be righteous when righteousness came before them? In this book, I plan to reintroduce the religion of Abraham and share my understanding of culture, religion, and the true purpose of life. Not to convert or indoctrinate, but to encourage people to study what God wants them to believe, say, and do for themselves. God wants believers to know and think for themselves instead of just accepting and following beliefs and practices passed down by others that could be wrong. I titled this book, Climbing the Stairway to Culture, because the number one problem I think we have as a species is that we are clingers and are unwilling to let most things go. Even when some people, places, or things are harmful or stagnate our growth, many people will continue to cling to what is bad for them with devotion. But to climb a set of stairs, the only way to reach the next step is to leave one step behind. Thus, I believe people can't progress culturally any further than that which they are clinging to, which hinders or stops their growth and development.